Rise and shine. It's been raining outside, but it's time to begin our adventure.
I've said it many times, I know I would change my ways, I know for sure. When all the crows decide to meet, they settle down beneath my feet. I've got it right and I got it wrong.
You ready for this adventure yet?
I'm getting there. It's close. Ready or not, here we come.
What about you, Sayla? You ready for this adventure? You're not sure? You a little scared? A little scared?
So be here as the night starts falling. Let my fingers walk over your head. We got nothing to be scared.
Your destination is on your right.
And upon our arrival to Gearbox Adventure Rentals, we were greeted by Glennette and the owner, Craig, who showed us around.
This is a mobile grocery store that is going to be used for a nonprofit.
Wow, that's neat.
A grocery store on wheels. That's pretty cool.
Wow.
And it's her goal. This is Mercy Deliverance Ministries is the company or the nonprofit, and her goal is to take Whole Foods into parts of town that don't have, you know, a local grocery store. I guess kind of food desert places. Yeah.
That is fantastic. That is great. Will that be here in town, or is that somewhere else?
She's gonna stay local. It's totally empty right now. And my son was making a rock, a line of rocks.
Hey, we know how that goes.
You know, school buses aren't really great at driving on the interstate, so it's mainly going to be kind of Birmingham Metro, that kind of thing.
So this is a build that you guys are putting together for.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So Miss Tony bought this bus locally. And we sent it to North Carolina for her and had the roof raised, had all the windows deleted, had the seats removed, and some different things modified, some new windows added, and then we're going to be building out the entire interior with insulation, walls, shelving, commercial refrigerators, the whole thing, so that it'll be a mobile grocery store on wheels.
That is fantastic. So in addition to renting out vans, camper vans, and various other things, you guys also do builds, custom builds for people like this.
Yeah. So this school bus is definitely kind of a one-off thing. It's not. We've never done a school bus before. There are people that are really good at school buses. We're really good at camper vans. So we build Mercedes Sprinters and Ford Transits for customers and for our rental fleet.
So you sent it to North Carolina?
Yeah, so there's a company up there called Schoolie, and they do exclusively school bus conversions, and they are, as far as I know, one of the only companies in the U.S. that do roof raises on school buses, or at least one of the only companies I would trust to do a roof raise. So rather than us learning how to raise a roof on a bus, we just sent it to the people that already knew how to do it.
Less hassle.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So how long will it take ultimately to do a project like this, are you thinking? I know it's tough to say.
Because this is a bus, we don't really know. We've got our camper van timeline dialed in, but I would say this is probably going to take around 4 months.
Okay.
That's going to be my guess, 3 to 4 months. It should be simpler than a camper van because it's a lot straighter. There aren't as many curves, but because we've never done it before, there's definitely going to be a learning curve.
Yeah. That's pretty neat. Pretty neat.
And then have you guys checked out all the vans yet?
Not yet.
Right here is Everest. It's our newest rental fleet van. This is also a floor plan that we're calling the base camp that we're going to, or that we do offer if you have a Ford Transit high roof. One of the coolest features of it is Murphy bed. So in a normal camper van, your bed takes up all the room in the back all the time, but in this one you can flip the mattress up out of your way. And then the bed platform comes up, and then you've got all this extra countertop space here. You've got your awning crank, and you can have tons of room if you get stuck in the van on a rainy day or something like that. It's a ton more standing space, stretch your legs, which is super nice.
So you got a microwave here?
Yep, this one's got a microwave, overhead storage. This van's pretty much decked out with everything, just about everything that you can put in a van. It's got a 12-volt air conditioner, lithium batteries, a heater on a thermostat, a gas heater. It's got a hot water heater. It's got you know, overhead cabinets all the way down both sides, roof rack, ladder. It's pretty decked out, and it's also got a rear seat that turns into a bed, which is super cool. So you can seat for and sleep for, and you don't lose all the floor space you would lose if you put a smaller bed back here.
So Craig, how did you guys get into business doing this?
Man, it is, it's kind of a unique story, but for me, it really starts with when I was younger. I wasn't really into the outdoors. I was really into video games and computers and that kind of thing. And then when I went off to college, I was super shy and introverted. Went off to college, started working in an outdoor retail store, and all of the people that worked there were like kayaking and hiking and camping and, you know, traveling, and I started doing those things with them, and just, it like changed my whole personality. It changed my stress level. It changed, just, I don't know, it just really changed my whole life, just like getting in the outdoors. And I really fell in love with, became passionate about helping other people experience that, like people who don't even know how much they would love the outdoors if they would just get out in it. Found out about camper vans and just felt like it was the best way to help people do that. And so I bought my first van. It had 100,000 miles, and threw it together with stuff that I found at Lowe's or Home Depot, and just, you know, started renting it out, and you know, the rest is history, or whatever, as they would say, and just kind of going one van at a time, and been very blessed. 100%, the Lord's had His hand on it from the start, and it's been good.
That is amazing. That is amazing. It kind of reminds me of my journey as well. I didn't grow up in homesteading at all. Like a city kid and just into lifting weights, and then started getting into the homesteading and growing food. It's like, and it completely changed my life. So
yeah,
I can kind of see the change probably happening in you too, with being outdoors, and that's pretty amazing.
It makes a big difference.
Yeah,
getting outside, putting your feet on the ground, and
sure does.
Listening to the birds.
Yeah, having that connection that God intended us to have.
Yeah.
All right, so let's see, got some more vans for us?
Yeah, so we've got K2, which is this tan van. It actually it just got sold, so it's no longer in the rental fleet. But the van right here that they're working on is White Rabbit. This is a high roof Mercedes Sprinter, seats 5, sleeps 4. A lot of our vans, really all of our vans, are intended for families. Most of our customers are young families, young kids, that kind of thing, wanting to take their kids out and connect with them out in nature and through hiking and that kind of thing. And so all of our vans are set up to seat a bunch of people, as many as possible in a van. We've got another van that's out on the road right now that seats 5, sleeps 4. It's called the Mad Hatter. The van next to it is a customer's van that we're going to be converting. And then we've got a van here in the shop that we're building out that's going to be in the rental fleet soon, that I'd love to show you guys as well.
All right, let's check it out.
So this one is going to be very similar to Everest, which is the van with the Murphy bed. The big difference is we went with a gray van this time instead of a white van, and it's all-wheel drive. So you know, this is going to be kind of for the sportsman, the hunter, the person that wants to be able to go off-grid and not really worry about whether or not they're going to get stuck. And this is also kind of the 2.0 version of that last build we saw, so we've tweaked a few things, modified a few things, moved cabinets an inch or two here or there, but very similar layout. It's going to have a flip-down table here. This van has a gray interior instead of a tan interior, but it's got the same 12-volt AC. It's got actually an upgraded rear bed that turns into a rear seat that turns into a bed. And then we changed the Murphy bed a little bit, but pretty much the same concept. So this is the rear view of the van. We actually made the bed smaller So it no longer needs that shock to help you lift it up because it's a lot lighter for the most part. This is it. You got your plumbing over here. This is kind of an inside peek of the plumbing, and then your electrical system. And this one should be ready actually in about a week, so it's pretty close to being done, even though you can't tell.
So in here, this is the shop where you guys do all the, make all the magic happen and put these things together?
Yeah, this we've got a 4-bay shop here. We've been super fortunate to have this. We were actually in another business's building before this, my dad's business, and about a month or two after we bought this building, a tornado came through our city and tore down his building completely.
Oh man.
So obviously not fortunate for them, but we were fortunate that we had moved out just a month or two prior to the tornado coming through. But we're able to do 2 vans in here at a time. We could do 3, but we have another company that builds the teardrop trailers, and they operate out of the 4th bay over there. New.
That's
You
neat.
got your bed and your storage up there.
That's pretty cool.
And then,
Oh wow, this is
isn't
so
this
neat.
cool? So
Wow.
you have your little sink here that works. And then here's your refrigerator and your stove.
That is so cool. And then some little storage areas.
Yes, got the
Oh wow.
kitchen utensils
Cool.
and plates and things. And down under here is just where the
Wow.
pump and hose and all that goes.
You can even hook it up for some power there.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
And there's a little table that goes on this side, I believe, and it comes out so you can kind of prep your food and then have your stove on another side. So that,
Wow, that is so cool.
yeah, yeah.
And what do we have here? Just pulls
This
out
is
for
the
shade.
awning.
Awning, okay.
It comes down and you can, you know, sit in the shade if there's not anything available.
So what is this one called again?
This is called the Teardrop, the Red Mountain Teardrop.
Oh, this is neat.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like this.
Yeah, I know, I didn't either.
Wow. You got some more storage up here.
Yeah.
So guys, you could just pull this around as a trailer and basically camp anywhere. That is so cool.
Said it's kind of like tent camping, but you're up off the ground, which feels more secure. And then you also, the protection from the weather, and then you have the vent in there that cools it down.
Because
at
we've
night.
been tent camping where it was flooding.
Oh yeah,
And there's water under the tent, and it's
Yes.
like a water bed. Swoosh, swoosh. This would be great.
I
Not
know.
have to worry about that.
Yes.
And there's no setup of a tent at all. There's no setup. You just park and
you
pull it
just
in.
park it. Yeah.
And you're ready to go.
That's
Is this
right.
like a little awning?
Yes.
Okay.
I could so see myself owning one of these. I can see us traveling around a date night somewhere together. Get
Oh,
away.
just for me and you.
like-
I like that idea.
It's like
I
the
like
ultimate tiny house there.
Yeah, let's go where we want.
There we go. So this is a family business for you guys?
Yeah, I mean, we started it, so yeah, I guess so. Yeah, and then I've grown up in in a family business, and my dad grew up in a family business. So his dad was an entrepreneur, owned a body shop. My dad owned owns a towing company that he started the year I was born. And then you know, we've kind of kept that legacy, and I didn't realize until about a year ago that we've all been in the automotive industry in some way or another. And I didn't really realize that with my business, but my granddad, my dad, and myself are all doing something automotive related.
That's pretty neat. So it's in your genes.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, grow up, you know, being around it all the time. It just kind of gets in you.
That's pretty neat. That's great. I love to hear of family businesses. So what all happens on this side of the shop?
So most of the time we have a van in this, I call this the first bay, the one closest to the offices. And then the middle bay, this one here, is normally kind of our work area where our tables are, our tools are. These tables and carts float around a little bit. A lot of times we'll have a van in this bay. Right now our second project is the school bus, which doesn't fit in the shop, so this bay's open so we have more floor space, which is nice. And then over here, this is kind of the teardrop side of the business, kind of starting in this region. We also do all of our woodwork over here to try to keep everything over near the dust collection, keep all the sawdust away from all the vans. Right now we've got a trailer with some wood just hanging out here so it doesn't get soaking wet, but normally this would be where a teardrop would be being assembled. So yeah, this is pretty much it. It's a small shop, but we're super grateful for it. It's a lot better than my driveway. So glad to be out of the weather.
What type of customer, or what are all of the adventures that your customers go on? What are some of those things?
Our vans go, they've been to Canada, they've been to Washington, so we're down in the southeast obviously, and we've had people up in Maine, Washington, Miami, California, Canada. They've been all over. Most of our renters, so normally in like school season it'll be 2, 3, 4 day trips. People will usually kind of stay in the southeast, maybe go to North Carolina, South Carolina, Chattanooga, North Georgia. And then in the summer, that's when we get our super long trips. So a lot of people will go out west, they'll go do a national parks tour, they'll go to California and drive up and down the coast, they'll go down to, you know, South Florida, things like that. So they really go, they go all over. We put a lot of miles on them.
That is great. That is fantastic. So most people probably are taking these adventures during this, probably like the summertime.
Yeah, that's definitely our most popular season. I mean, we stay pretty rented year round. I would say probably December and January are our slowest months because most people are buying Christmas gifts and figuring out holiday plans, and you know, it's cold outside and those kinds of things. So we stay pretty busy when school gets out.
But if you're looking for a good time to travel and maybe get a good deal, those are probably some of those times to take some of those trips, is during the slower times.
Yeah. So our rates do go down in the when school's out, the rates are higher, and when school is in, the rates are lower. So if you're a homeschooler or you've got some flexibility in your schedule, then fall, spring, to me fall and spring, that's when we all travel because that's when the vans aren't super busy, and I think that's the best time to travel if you can.
Traveling tip from Craig there. There you guys go.
So the long-awaited van reveal. This is White Rabbit. This is a high roof Mercedes Sprinter. It's set up with the 2-sleeper up top. This is kind of a full XL, so it's kind of a queen length and a full width. Got 2 little single beds down here for the kiddos, and then storage here. There's an extra fan in here, clean water hose, some little camp chairs, and the toilet's up at the front. We got overhead storage here, overhead storage up there. Got a window at the head of the bed, which is super nice. If it gets warm at all, you guys can open that up and open the vent fan up top, and it'll suck air across the bed, which is awesome. And then we'll show you the front.
All right.
So up front, we've got your driver and passenger seat. These seats swivel around, which is super nice. The way that you swivel them is just scoot the seat forward, and then this little lever here, you flip it up.
Okay. Oh, wow.
Swivels around, and then once you get it flipped around, you can scoot it back again. And so this kind of opens up this whole space. The driver and passenger seat do the same thing.
Okay.
Which is super nice. And then to get it back around, you just scoot it forward so it doesn't hit the B-pillar. Flip this back down, and it'll lock in.
Fantastic.
You got your rear bench seat, which is a factory Mercedes seat. It doesn't move, so it just stays where it is. You've got a little mini fridge here, like we were talking about. On the top right, there's a knob that's like 0 to 6. That's how you turn the temperature up or down.
Okay.
You've got some storage here, plates, bowls, pots, pans, cups, all that good stuff. You've got a water pump here. This is how you turn on your water pump for your sink. So you just press that button and you open up your sink, and that's how you get water. Overhead storage up here, which is great for packing stuff. You got these little mesh bags for sticking phones or paper towels or whatever you need. You've got blackout curtains up front, which are nice for privacy in the front. And then you've got a stove. This is a single burner butane stove. More kitchen utensils, like all your forks, spoons, knives, dish towel, paring knife. Got a AeroPress coffee maker, that's this thing here. And then an extra canister of butane. Normally you'll get one full can and then one partial can from the renter before you.
Okay.
So we're not wasting, we always add a one and then you end up with kind of one and a partial. This lights up the lights up here. That's how you can see in this if you need to at night.
Okay.
These little things here are pretty cool. You can move them all around this track and use them to strap down. You can hang a hammock from this. This can actually hold up to 2,000 pounds. So if you wanted to like hang a hammock or strap some kind of, you know, paddleboard or chairs or whatever, you can strap stuff up to this, which is really nice. Your vent fan, this thing is a lifesaver if it gets warm at all. There's a power button right here. You just press the power and it opens up and turns on, and it'll start either sucking air in or blowing it out, one or the other. You press the plus to speed it up, that's max speed, and then you press the minus to slow it down. And then there's an in and out button, so if it's sucking air out and you want it to blow in, you just press the in and out button and it'll reverse the flow. So in this van, when I'm sleeping, I pretty much leave it sucking out all the time, because you can open the window at the head of the bed and have it suck air out, and it cools down the whole upper bed, which is super nice. And if you're cooking inside, it sucks any smells or smoke or whatever out of the van, just like a vent hood would in a kitchen. So yeah, that's that. And then I'll step right by you and show you the dimmers and the heater. Okay. You've got two dimmers right here. The front knob does your front two lights. The back knob does your back two lights. That's so that you can, you know, not light up the bed at night if you don't want to, or vice versa, only light up the bed. Then you've got your heater. This is a diesel heater, so it pulls fuel out of the diesel tank. You don't have to like fill it up or anything. It doesn't use a lot of battery, and as long as you've got at least a quarter tank of fuel, it will it'll only drain down to a quarter tank. So as long as you've got a quarter tank or more, it'll just suck fuel out of the tank. It uses a very small amount of fuel, like it's like 0.6 gallons all for 8 hours, and so you don't have to worry about it like leaving you stranded or anything. To turn it on, you just hit the logo, it wakes it up, and then you hit the logo again and it'll turn red. That means it's in heat mode. That means it's actively heating. And then this is a thermostat, so you can turn this knob to whatever temperature you want it set to. Like if you wanted it set to 74 degrees, and then you hit the little square and it'll save the setting. So down here in the bottom left, you can see 74 is what I set it to, 66 is what it currently is, and so you can tell this is what it is, that's what it's being set to. And then turn it back off, you just hit the logo again and the red lights go off and it's off again. There's a fire extinguisher here if you need it. Hopefully you don't need it, but it's there. So this is your inverter. This is basically your 120 volt home outlet. So like charging a laptop, plugging up a hair dryer or something like that, you can use these two plugs here. You just press the on button there, or the on switch. It'll light up. You'll see the voltage come up for, this is the input side, this is the output side. None of that matters. All you need to know is that these two outlets now work. And then with everything in a camper van or RV, you want to, if you're not using it, turn it off. It's just kind of good rule of thumb, so you're not wasting battery or water or whatever. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll show you guys the toilet and then how to fill up the water tank, and you guys will be good to rock and roll. All right, so this is your toilet. This is for urine only, and we ask that you empty it before you bring it back. So it slides out. This is really just more of a convenience thing for the middle of the night. You wake up in the middle of the night, you need to pee, you don't want to have to get dressed, open the door, wake everybody up, hike off into the woods. This allows you to stay in the van, use the bathroom, and then go right back to sleep. Or with you know, quarantine and all that, this was a great way to not have to go into gas stations and places like that. So this top section is clean water. This is where all the clean water is held, and then down here is where your black water is held. So the way that you actually use the toilet, you use it, you pump up some pressure on the clean water side, and then when you press this button, it's going to squirt water down into the top of the toilet, and then you pull this gray handle and that dumps everything down into the black water tank. And so now it's clean, everything's down in the black water tank, and you're good to go. When you get ready to empty it, you're going to separate the top from the bottom. So you pull this little tab here, this comes off, and then this is what you're going to take to a black water station or a public bathroom at a campground. You've got a vent that is closed when you're using the toilet, and then when you're emptying the toilet you turn it to open. It just allows it to not slosh or whatever. This funnel comes around, and then you unscrew this cap, pour out the black water, and then fill it up with water, rinse it out, pour it out again, and then you just put this back, close your vent, and put the toilet back together. And then if you do run out of fresh water, you can put more fresh water in right here. You just unscrew this and fresh water goes in there. So your water tank is inside this cabinet. This is a 16-gallon freshwater tank. It's got a little key that locks this fill. You just unscrew this, use your freshwater hose, which is in the cabinet over there, to fill up the tank. And then what I'll normally do is lift up this cabinet and look at the tank and just make sure that the water doesn't get above this hose. That's how you know when it's full. And then there's an outdoor spray off, which is great for hosing off kids or hosing off your gear, or if your feet get dirty or something, or you can take a shower. I've taken a shower with this before. You got this little thing here. Your sprayer comes out, plugs in and twists, and then you turn on the water pump switch that's on the kitchenette, and that'll pressurize this, and then you can use this just like a regular garden sprayer. Ready for an outdoor shower?
Outdoor shower? It'll be a cold plunge. You're gonna be a cold shower, not a plunge. Done it before.
The hose was in here.
Yep. Yeah, the freshwater hose.
See?
Got an extra fan in there too?
Yes, this extra fan is great. You can plug into these 12-volt outlets that are all throughout the van. There's USB ports and 12-volt outlets kind of scattered all throughout the van on both sides. Like here's a USB to charge your phones or whatever, or your gear. But that 12-volt fan will be great, especially I would say, you know, to keep air circulating. It draws a very little amount of air or power, so you could leave it running most of the time. So you guys are gonna have tons of ventilation up here because of the fan, but your kids will probably want some ventilation down here. So you can plug that fan up and sit it right here, or you know, sit it down here and let it blow across the bed.
Sounds good.
But temperature wise, y'all will probably be good since you're going out west. It probably shouldn't be too hot.
Yeah.
The highs are in the mid-50s, mid-60s.
Oh, so you guys will be cold if anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, good thing you got the heater.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be the perfect van for you guys.
I'm excited. I was worried about storage,
Yeah.
but after seeing it, I think we'll be good.
I think so
Yeah.
too.
I think so.
Yeah, so you've got storage in here, storage up there and there, and then under that back seat, there's like carry-on size storage, and then up that overhead shelf you can rearrange some things and fit a duffel bag or a backpack or something up top. And then what a lot of people do is they'll load up the bottom beds with stuff,
Yeah.
and then when you get where you're going, either put it
Shuffle
under the
it around.
van or put it in the cab or whatever.
What do you think?
Cool. Cool.
Think so.
Whoa, this is cool.
I can sleep on the bottom. And Sai can sleep here and Sailor can sleep. That's where Mommy and Daddy are sleeping.
It's the same button. So it's
Where's Sailor gonna sleep?
it's locked. You press
You're
it,
sleeping on the chair.
Alright, so we're trying to figure out how to make this work. Moving things back and forth. Like a giant game of Tetris, it feels like. You guys ready?
Yeah!